Hey dudes, Scotty Real here with my buddy Cortez.
I am Cortez the Conqueror at your service.
Check out these grow dots and recharge for epic plant growth. Whoa, the bamboo's growing too fast.
We must escape this green labyrinth.
Lesson learned. Always follow the recommended dosage, folks. Visit www.realgrowers.com/Cortez and use coupon code Cortez
for a conquest of epic plant proportions.
Go to the link in the description to save big and score free shipping on all Real Growers products, or use coupon code Cortez at checkout. Every time you save, you're also helping the channel bring you content like this.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Cortez the Conqueror. Unfortunately, today I'm dealing with some food poisoning. Me and the wife got some Little Caesars, and she's about where I was 4 or 5 hours ago. Ooh,
of course. Sorry.
Alicia might have a touch of the sickness there herself.
I know. I'm sorry. My baby.
Get up, get down with the sickness.
Get in there. Hello. Sorry for my intro.
It's all good. It was actually kind of badass. What did they say, Alicia?
I'm feeling, but I know how you're doing. I hope you feel better soon.
Yeah. If you ain't smoking, you ain't choking.
Yeah.
What did they say?
Get off, right?
Yeah. But yeah, just want to let you guys know why I wasn't going to be here. I actually might have to run to the bathroom here to throw up any minute. But
Mhm.
before that happens, you guys already know, big shout out to show sponsors, Real Growers. If you guys want to save on grow dots, recharge, or a real bucket system, you can find my clickable savings link down in the description. And then, do you got any big news going on over there, Alicia?
Can of Cans almost open. Website totally done. Almost restocked. Stay tuned. You can I'll post things on my YouTube channel and I'll post things on my Instagrams when I
Coming
find
out
out more
very
information. But we're
soon.
almost there. You can almost
Oh, and
dominate
then
the elimination station again.
I got some really exciting news too. I've actually been in meetings the past 2 days with Brett and Banner, and
Yeah,
I actually even have the visuals for my final menu for the cup.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Oh, and Alicia, by the way, you're hired.
I heard.
But without further ado, nobody is bigger than the program here, including myself. So I'm gonna gracefully bow out here before I have a reaction, and I am gonna let Alicia and Chonky take it from here.
Yeah.
Y'all, cheers.
Oh, I hope you feel better. Thank you.
Bye, Cortez, Linda. I hope you're all feeling better soon.
Yeah, nothing worse. That's being that sick. It's horrible. You can't do anything until it passes.
Yeah, you can kind of hear it in me. I was sick a couple weeks ago. I was thinking it was some cup cough from last weekend. I don't usually smoke. I don't combust, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm a vaporizer and a dabber, so smoking all sorts of joints and all sorts of blunts last weekend kind of got me. So maybe it's a little bit of cup cough still, maybe it's a little bit of sickness, but either way, it was worth it.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better though. Yeah, it's not that's another thing. It's just coughing because it makes everything sore, throat, blah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. All right, you ready to bring them in?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Thurgood, here we come.
Happy Sunday, guys.
Hey,
Happy
Thurgood.
Sunday. How you doing?
Oh, another Sunday fun day.
Sir, I'm lucky enough for President's Day is a holiday for me, so I am off tomorrow. Do you have anything good planned for tomorrow if you're off, or do you have to work?
Oh, no, this is what I do, man. That's it,
Oh, wow.
Nice.
You live in the dream, man.
Yeah, well, the poor ass dream,
Well, I mean, you gotta get there somehow.
Yeah.
Unless you're a trust fund baby, you kind of have to,
Yep. Just try to take care of myself, man. That's all it is,
Yeah. Well, you do a damn good job.
Well,
How do you get to be one of those? How do you become a trust fund baby? I need to know that.
You need parents that have money, like a
I
lot
have
of
parents.
money.
I do have parents.
Like own like Johnson & Johnson or something.
Right. Find the cheat code. Let me know, please.
Maybe your next life.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
We're looking at some beautiful flowers there. What you got going on?
Oh, so this is what I'm calling the whatever tent. There's actually 4 different cultivars in here. I've got 2 of the Soulfire Stromata, which is an FX3 times Last Supper, which is one of their new drops they're just releasing. I won those on X. I went over to X when everything started happening on Instagram and signed up just to have something in case everybody jumped over there. And very first thing I entered in, of course, I won. My luck.
Look, yeah, I know. Even that horseshoe.
It's wedged up there far, I guess.
I guess it's worth it.
Right. And then I've got a cut in here of Terptomaniac, which is Rainbow Belts times Romulan. That is actually a cut that I took from the Rainbow Room, my other spot. I'm at Black Ass Farms right now.
I was going to ask which one you're in. Yeah.
So the Rainbow Room is a full-size room. Everything right now is empty over there. I don't have anything going. I'm going to be popping seeds soon.
Okay.
But I'm actually for anybody don't know, is I'm actually a tester for Romulan. So I just got a new recent set of seeds to run this next run. So I'm getting ready to pop them in the can. Shout out to Don. I seen him in the chat.
Oh yeah, you got to dominate that germination station.
Absolutely. So that Turptomaniac was a cut from over there to Rainbow Room. I brought it over here. It was just something that I was cleaning off the plant and was going to throw it away. And I just decided, like, hey, I'm going to keep it and see what it does. And it's turned out perfect. I'm not proficient at taking cuts, cloning anything at all. So it was just an experiment, pretty much. And then I've got a James Loud. That's this one that's over here. I don't know if you guys can see that one or not.
The one that's shaking.
Yeah, the one that's shaking over there. That that was a soap ZBX cross that I got from either Rue or L. Was another win that I had.
Oh wow!
And I had 3 of the seeds, but that's the only one that actually survived. The other 2 popped. They just didn't, push their way out.
Yeah.
So that's the only survivor. And then I've got these right here. There's 4 of these. Those are the Scout Snacks by Greenpoint. That was a win that I had. That was actually one of the first wins I had on Instagram back in 2023 in December when I first joined Instagram. That was one of those wins from Silly Mike. If anybody doesn't know who Silly Mike is, please look him up on IG. He gives back to the community all the time. He does giveaways and stuff, but he does it just for the love of it.
Yeah. They're all pretty beefy.
I mean, they're at day, I think 41 now. Yeah, I think it's day 41 of flowers. So, I mean, I'm thinking, it's probably going to be early 60s, maybe 62, 63 days, maybe. Just looking at it, what I'm looking at. We'll see. It's one of those things that just getting a feel of it, especially having 4 different cultivars, 4 different breeders. It's kind of hard sometimes doing these mixed tints, where when I go to the Rainbow Room, I have usually half and half.
Yeah. You could focus a little more.
Right. It's a little bit easier, and if something's showing some deficiency, you can work on that one half of the room, so it's a little bit different here.
I was going to ask, how do you, I'm sorry, Alicia, go ahead.
No, you go. I got mine.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do you choose what genetics you run? You say you have a mixed bag in this tent right here. I find myself that I like to run 1, maybe 2, because those ladies can be cranky and trying to figure out 8 or 9 different feeding schedules and stuff. How do you choose what you're going to run?
To be honest, I go in and I look at what the recommended days are, and I try to find something that's all within the same amount of height that the breeder says that they run about, and I try to keep them all about the same, same amount of days, about the same height. That way I can kind of get a guesstimation at least when I'm making that run. But I've got such a large amount of seeds. Sometimes it's like a crapshoot. Like I almost stick my hand in there and pull something out. No, I don't want that one. Yeah, let's do this one. You know what I mean? It's I've won so many things. I've purchased so many things. It's one of those things that sometimes it baffles me. And I sit and I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall to figure out what I'm going to run next. So I really don't have a set plan for anything.
Yeah.
That's one thing I wanted to ask you. How the hell are you so lucky that you win just about everything you touch? just curious.
To be honest, I'm really not that lucky in life, man. I mean, I have a friend, Jennifer, not to be whatever, but she's Jewish. She said I used to be Jewish in a past life. And I find deals all the time. So like I'm a bargain hunter through and through. I've been a hustler damn near my whole life. Not that I like slang drugs or anything.
Oh, yeah, well, none of our business.
I find a way to make it happen, man. Like one way or another, whether it's working with my hands or working with my feet. If I'm out there, just trying to make $1, that's what I'm going to do that day, you know?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But as far as luck goes, I tell you on IG, I sometimes L calls me the next Golden Roberts. And I didn't even know who that was. I had to look it up. You know, I guess he was the guy that was winning all the time on High Again.
Mhm.
And I win a lot, but I do give back sometimes, you know, like, because there's this, I feel like sometimes I'm winning too much. Like I feel bad for winning sometimes.
Yeah, I've seen you even when you've won, you donate your, like, you'll donate to somebody else and stuff. So yeah, because it's like after a while, it doesn't become as much fun if you're always winning. Probably,
Right.
maybe it does. It's like gambling. I don't know.
Exactly. You know, I sometimes I just do it to do it, and then there's like other giveaways I just step over because I'm like, dude, I've already got some of that, or I don't need that. Why am I going to enter that giveaway? You know, if it's something I really want to try for, I will. You know, if it's something in a live, I want to be supportive of the live. Why wouldn't I? You know, and that's the other thing. I try to go in everybody's lives when I can. I obviously can't be at everybody's live. I got a live, but just try to go in and support people and actually entering them giveaways supports people. So why not?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, exactly. That's what I was gonna say too. Is because everyone, I can't keep up sometimes, but like I watch a lot of them not live.
Yeah.
Because I just but very busy a lot, so it's hard. But you're always in everyone I see, and I know you're in ones even where I just stop in once in a while, and so you're kind of always there. It helps.
I was going to say, there's not many places I drop into or watch where I don't see Thurgood hanging out and winning shit, actually.
Yeah.
Same. I love it when I go in and I see people that I actually, I'm following on IG or on YouTube in the chat. That it makes me happy because, I know we run in a circle in these lives, a lot of times, man, like, we jump from one, we jump to another, then we go over to the other one or whatever. And for all of us to follow and all of us to be in the same place, man, it's kind of like, Alicia, with the Mellow Kitty Mafia, we're, having that connection with people, in real life. You guys were saying that earlier in the back, like, I really don't like people in real life. Like, people in real life fucking suck. Like, they're just mean or hateful. You give a shit about anybody but themselves. Like, I'm not that person, man. I just don't go out and deal with that shit. I don't go to the bars. Like, I don't drink. I used to, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I love weed, man. I would just rather sit here with these plants and look at them all day than to go out and deal with that bullshit.
Yeah. No, me too. Same way. But I like people like online, but also it's like it's controlled. Like I see them when I want, like when you want to go in there, like the grocery store. I don't go to the grocery store to socialize. I go there to go home with food.
I say I like people. I hate the public.
Yeah. That was perfect when you said that.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Like when we were going through the pandemic, or right at the end of the pandemic, I had went into Walmart and this guy was literally trying to fight me about placement in the line to the register, a self-checkout register. Like, there isn't going to be one opening up in 15 seconds, dude. Just fucking calm down. Like,
no, exactly. I know. Gosh, I mean, even going to Walmart, or something, or like a big store like that, it's like, you're going in a line. There's a lot of people trying to get the same things as you. It's just deal with it.
We used to have a little small town grocery store. It was called IGA.
Yeah, I know, Brain. You had one.
Okay. So IGA. So and they shut it down. Walmart running out of town, man. And then we get stuck going to there. I fucking hate Walmart, dude. I really, every time I walk, as soon as I get out of my car, I'm like, I fucking hate this place.
Yeah, I feel the energy.
Right, it's bad energy. It's like bad mojo. Like every time I walk in that place, it's something, man.
Yeah, I agree.
We actually got a question. I'm going to throw that up here real quick.
And then I'm next. Fine.
It's reading that.
You want to read it? You want me to read it?
Go ahead and read it.
Okay. Mad love, you guys. Quick question. So I have been growing the strain Titan F1. It says the harvest time is 70 days from seed. It's day 75. Probably going to push it one more week. Any advice?
Just keep an eye on them trichomes, man.
That would be what
depends on what you're
they'll
looking
tell you when it's ready.
Yeah.
Get yourself a jeweler's loop. Make sure if once you start seeing that amber, keep an eye on it. I don't know how people tell at 30%. Honestly, I have no clue. Like how you count trichomes and know that you're at 30%. I
just guess, kind of just eyeing it, like. But yeah, I know to see the hue of it. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean, I eyeball it. I'm like, you know what? I like it at this point, so I'm going to take it. So. If I'm remembering correctly, that Titan F1, I believe that's a Royal Queen seed F1 autoflower. I believe I could be incorrect. I guess that doesn't matter either way, but I know Titan. I can't remember if I've ran my Titans yet or if I still have them. But those F1s, they did bulk up the last week. I ran the good old Rosted Jeff 18.6 the last week, and they got plump. But yeah, I would definitely just keep an eye on the trichomes from a jeweler's loop, and if you know how much amber you like. Some people don't like any amber.
Because I'm pretty sure the longer it goes, then it'll get more of the indica type effects to it. So if you too long, it'll have that kind of slower go.
Once you start running longer and you're seeing more amber, that's actually the THC decomposing into CBN. CBN is the sleepy cannabinoid. So the more amber you're going to get, the more sleepy indica side you're going to get. So
thank you.
What are you doing with it? Are you going to wash it? Are you going to
there's factors.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. If you're washing it, you're not going to want the amber. People don't like seeing. People want the yellowest, clearest concentrates you can get. And if you get amber and those trichomes, you're gonna have some coloring on it. I don't care. I press some flour, and my rosin is brown, but it tastes really good. So
yeah, it looks really good too.
That's all that matters, right?
Well, I have a question.
So Michael, I hope we answered your question. If not, throw some more questions up, and Alicia and Thurgood and I can hopefully help you answer those.
Absolutely.
Well, Thurgood, how did you get the name for your rooms? Why'd you pick Black Ass Bars in the Rainbow Room?
Okay, you stole my question.
Everybody's wondering it. I don't know.
Well, so the Rainbow Room is not where I'm at, right? The Black Ass Farms is me. That's where I'm at here. The Rainbow Room is actually at a buddy of mine's house. He's married. He's allowed, some plants. So we do a split of everything, but I really do everything. He doesn't touch anything. It's my grow, 100%. Like I said, everything over there is Romulan. It's not that the room is sponsored by Romulan, but since I'm a tester and I feel like if he's giving me all these seeds, as many seeds as I want, why the hell wouldn't I fill the whole room with them? You know what I mean?
And they have there's so many beautiful strains I've seen, and
there's something about his cut of Romulan, man. I never had the old school Romulan. I can't even front. I don't know what the old school Romulan tasted like. I might have smoked it back then, but I don't know because we didn't talk about it back then. It was either good weed or bad weed.
Yeah.
And then in the 90s, it became, Kush and, dank, whatever people were just calling it. We had the Christmas tree bud, which was my favorite. If anybody had that bright green Christmas tree pine bud, I was on it. But to get back to the Rainbow Room, I will go off. Get back to the Rainbow Room. How it actually came up was my buddy, him and his wife, when we were talking about doing this. We originally had a 4x8 tent and then a 3x4 tent that we were going to put, and we were basically going to take a corner of the basement and section it off, and we put a wall up. We were talking about doing it, and they were like, well, on the wall, you guys should put a mural or something up there on the wall. And she's like, a big unicorn. I'm like, come on, man, really? A unicorn? two dudes, growing weed. Let's put a unicorn on the wall. Yeah, sure. So anyhow, I messing around. Really, it was before the AI for me. I was just messing around with pictures online, and then I would adjust it, a little bit, so it would be mine, just a little bit. And I'm nobody, taking this little picture that I found online, and I created the Rainbow Room, like, just in doing that. And then I brought it back to them, and they were like, "That's fucking awesome." And I'm like, "All right, bet." So that's how the Rainbow Room happened.
And that's where the unicorn came out.
Right. The unicorn, I was able to keep it in there for her, but, made it look more mannish, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
With the bong in the hand and all that for the original logo. The new one's a little different. The newer one that I used when I added Thurgood Jenkins, that didn't even start because, that was before Ohio went legal. So that was, in them alleged times, before Ohio went legal. And when Ohio went legal and I got on Instagram, I had my original main account under my real name. And I wasn't comfortable enough where I'm at. It's a little small town.
Yeah.
I love all the Cheech and Chong movies, man. But, they're also, it'd be cliche to use those names. And, I loved Half Baked. I can damn near verbatim that movie, so it's like, Thurgood motherfucking Jenkins, dude. So that's what I went with, was Thurgood Jenkins. And then when I started looking at it, I'm like, what year did that movie even come out? I'm like, I'm fucking old, And it was like 1998. And I'm like, that's it. Thurgood Jenkins 98. That's it. So then.
Okay. Yeah, right. I get to 98 now.
Okay. Yep. So then Black Ass Farm spun off of that because there's a scene in the movie where he goes into a bodega to buy some dime bags. And when he goes in there, they don't recognize him. They play him off. They play him stupid. You know what I mean? And he turns around and he moons them. And the guy behind the counter is like, "Hey, black ass, why didn't you moon me earlier, eh?" And I'm like, "Oh, God, that's fucking hilarious."
Yeah.
And I was in chat with Silly Mike, who I was talking about earlier. Shout out to Silly Mike again. He was like, you should name your room Black Ass Farm. So that's what I did. So I named it Black Ass Farm. So
they're funny. I love them. Right. I like the names.
Of course, I couldn't put a man's ass on my logo, so I used a black donkey.
Yeah, I know. He's so adorable. And I like how you incorporated animals in both of them too. It's cool.
Even if one's made up, right?
Well. Yeah. You're saying they're not real.
The unicorn. Not the black donkey. Not the black ass.
No, there's definitely no black donkey. What's the funniest thing is first my head went to the donkey because it makes me think of the donkey in Shrek.
Exactly. I almost used that. I literally almost used that. Because when I put it in AI, I was like the donkey in Shrek. That's literally what I put in there. And it gave me some of the goofiest things. And I'm like, scratch the donkey from Shrek. And I'm like, just a black ass donkey in a field, a pot, and of course you can't say that's cannabis, sorry. A field of cannabis in AI. And because when you put in pot, it automatically rejects it every time. And so when I put in the cannabis and it popped up, and I scrolled through a couple of them, and I saw the one I got now, and I love it. It looked more realistic than any of the other ones that they had in there. So stuck with that logo. Yeah.
No, they're fun. I like it. I like things like that. Like so entertaining and adorable.
Well, I definitely appreciate that for sure.
You're welcome.
Are you going to give CC the Rainbow Room? Sure.
What was that, Chunky?
You going to give CC the Rainbow Room? CC's been after that.
Well, it's technically someone else's house, so he's really got to work hard to make it happen.
I mean, she'd have to show up at the door and deal with them, I guess, because I'm the one with the key. I don't know.
Well, I guess you having the key could help her. Let's free CC.
Right.
Well, I'll partition.
Right? Or
Now,
kitchen
do you
dog.
have a preference of what you grow? Do you grow? I'll use indica sativa. And do you like growing indicas? Do you like growing sativas? Don't you
To
care?
be honest, I'm an indica guy. My guy, the dude's house it is, he really loves sativas. And unfortunately, he's going to get what the fuck I grow for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever Jake gives me, that's what it's going to be, because he's not putting forth anything to this other than the house, the water, and the electricity. So, you know, I like indicas. I find that they're less finicky for me, and it's just for me. I have a pretty good track record so far. I've had some stumbles. I got some downstairs. I showed them the other night on GCN. As horrible as they looked, it's really some of the worst ones I've started with.
So
But,
that's not what you're showing now, right?
Yeah,
So-
not the ones that are downstairs. Yeah, the ones that are downstairs. It was basically, I just had a couple of things that I wanted to put in a small tent. It was actually the 3x4 from the Rainbow Room originally. And I got the 2x4 I won from AC Infinity, that cultivator's kit, which was that's that score, man, that horseshoe. But I got that down there, and I'm going to be starting that next too. I'm actually going to be putting some katsu in there that Gigi gave me. Shout out to the Cosmic Cotton Candy. If nobody's following her in the chat, please do so.
I love
That's
you, Gigi. Yeah,
Gigi's great. Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
Tuesday nights.
Come over Thursday. Yeah. Thursday night, Bo and Gigi, high as hell. Come over and see it. I'm always there.
Yeah, it's fun. I think that's where I first met you. Was in Gigi's chat.
It was either there or it was Dark Star, one of the two.
It might have been because it might have been Dark Star, because that's where I met Gigi, was Dark Star, and then I started following her. I'm like, oh, and she has a show, and she's the funnest person in the world. I love her so much.
Yeah. Same here. That's where I met Gigi, Feather Artist, which is another one of my girls. Shout out to Feather Artist. Love that girl. And that's the thing, like coming in here, you know, coming on here in December of 2023, we legalized in Ohio, and I changed everything on my Instagram from my main page and made it Thurgood Jenkins and started the Rainbow Room, you know, set up over there with the tents and everything, and showing it online. It was the scariest thing in the world for me.
Really?
Because I was so back in the woods, hiding from everybody. You know, I've got a key code thing to get into my door. Like even here I do. So like everything, it was really secure to me, and opening up like that, it was really big. So when I went on Dark Star and like Silly Mike and doing these and talking to people in the chat, I'm like these are the people that I should have been talking to the whole fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah, you find that group
Right. And I could have still stayed in the background and still talked to people, you know, and I wouldn't have been so far behind. And I feel like I'm this past year, I feel like I've just crammed everything into this past year. It's just been phenomenal for me. You know, everybody that I met through, you know, those shows, Dark Star, Silly Mike's show, you know, getting in the lives, you know, you guys, L and them, GCN, you know, the former people of that show, and you know, all that, it opened me up like a goddamn bud, dude. Like I just started swelling with all this. I can do this just like all these other people. I can talk about it now.
It's a beauty of like that type of program too, because it gets you to connect with people on like a different level, because it's like video calling with people and stuff. So it's such a fun. I totally get it, and then it helps you open up too, because you're
right. Because I never did any of the chat rooms or any of that other stuff, like on Reddit or any of that other stuff. I never did any of that. Yeah, like I've never done anything like that. I didn't put my business out there. I just didn't. Yeah. You know, and that's why it's still so hard now to show my face with being in a small town. Just, you know, I mean, Cincinnati isn't small, but we're just out of Cincinnati, and big mouths, man, you know.
No, I live outside a small, like medium-sized city. You know, like I know what it's like when you.
Yeah, but I don't think y'all think like just what you call small towns is. Like I live in the biggest city in Vermont, and it's 50,000 people. Or I live right outside the biggest city. My town is like 10,000 people.
Yeah.
There might be less than that here, but it's
Okay.
I don't know what ours is.
it's pretty small because it's one of them towns that sits on a main thoroughfare, like the main road that goes downtown Cincinnati. I sit right on it, so it's one of the you drive right through my town. You know, to take the shortcut when the highway's backed up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's why I can't grow outside, and that sucks too because I really want to. I have a big set of woods behind me, but I'd have to cut a tree down to create a light spot, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Actually,
plus,
if you take a peek here, that's my outside grow right there.
Yeah, it's beautiful, brother.
I don't know. You got nice
And that's
back.
how you prefer to grow, right, Chunky?
Yeah, I prefer to grow outside. I mean, I'm torn though because I like being outside. It's just something about growing the plant like nature intended it to. I grow all organic.
Exactly.
And it's also where I'm not sure of the Buddhist saying, but basically if you can't control it, you can't worry about it. So outside, I'm like, they just go. Like I can't do anything about it. I don't worry. But with my inside grows, I'm so anal about it. Like every 15, 20 minutes, I'm looking at my controller, making sure everything is perfect. So, I mean, I thought about getting a CO2 monitor.
Yeah.
I know if I get that, I'm just gonna be anal about it, and I'm gonna distress about it. So I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, CO2 is scary, man. When I started the Rainbow Room, I have a what's that blue shit? It's one of the main brands. It's like blue
Bluebird
and white.
or Inkbird?
No, it's not Inkbird. It's a controller, and then you hook up the regulator to it, and it releases the valve and all that. But anyhow, I still keep it over at the Rainbow Room just to monitor. I forget the name of the company now. Somebody will probably say it in the chat.
Yeah.
Somebody's saying Blue Lab, but I don't think Blue Lab
those
makes the
are a
CO2
pH.
monitors.
That's where I was going to. Yeah, those are a pH. But anyhow, get back to it. The CO2. I had it in the Rainbow Room, and his wife actually worked at a restaurant back then. So they had CO2 for their pop machines. So I got free CO2. Well, then she lost. She quit that job, and I no longer had them tanks of CO2. And I was like, fuck it, I ain't doing it. Because I really didn't see that big of a response, to be honest, because you have to be at such a high PPFD, right, in order for that to happen, to actually utilize it. So the lights I was using at the beginning, they were some 5-part Spectra, 150 watt and 100 watt lights, not real big, Chinese company or whatever. They've blown up a little bit now, not quite as big as VivoSun or anything, but it's just.
I'm going to translate just for a second. Pop is soda for those on the East Coast. And for Cortez too. Cortez and I had a conversation last night about soda versus pop.
Soda pop, sorry.
That's what I call it. I'll call it soda pop. Or growing up as a kid, my dad called it pop, and we're on the East Coast, but I think it might be a Pennsylvania thing, because everyone else calls it soda up here.
Yeah, down south, everything is Coke.
Coke.
Yeah, everything's Coke.
I used to live down there. I have to remember.
Yeah. So, but I actually got a funny story about that about my stepmom, but maybe another day.
So what's your preferred method of consumption? I mean, consumption equals function. So I know I have actually many preferred methods, but what's yours?
So I like cones, and I have a little ball, not a big one. I do like dabs. It's just for some reason they hit me so hard I can barely take a hit. I went to Cannabis Cup Detroit in 2019, and they had a VIP tent, and it was all the dabs you can do. Basically, you just walk up and you just take a dab. So all day long, you're walking around this place in the sun, and you can come in there and cool off. So every time I was coming in, I was taking a dab. By the end of the day, I was so slide back in the chair that I thought I was going to fall and hit the floor. And I was like, man, I am way too high. And I don't want to feel like this, because I wasn't used to that. And now I just can't take a big hit. Like a big hit, and I'm done.
Have you tried using like an e-rig versus a nail? Like, where is it? This thing I have here. I have today I have my little Puffco, but I also have a Marta as an e-rig, and if I hit that, it gets me high. But if I go outside and fire up my nail and get that thing kind of hot and take a dab out of the same size dab, I need to take a knee and go lay down. So
yeah, I actually have an inhaler that I'll have to take if I get that really bad, because like literally I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. Like I can't catch my breath. Like my heart's pounding out of my chest. I can't do that. Yeah, I'm a big guy, and it'll fuck around and for real give me a heart attack. So I got to watch what I do for real, because the way I felt up there in Detroit, I don't want to feel that way again. That was horrible for me. And I mean, and I can't blame it all on the dabs either. They had one of those big ass leaf blowers with the
like
Astro. And I was shopping at one of the booths, and this guy came out and started doing that. And there was this big circle, and I'm like, let me get in the circle like a dumbass. And I literally was right at the edge, and he just sat there and laid it on us, man. It was a cloud. You couldn't see anybody. You were lucky to see your hand in front of your face.
Oh, I know.
It was fun as fuck. But at the end of the day, with the dabs too, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all.
And I know that feeling too. So I'll get tired, but I'll get so tired, like my head hurts, and I just want my eyes to close.
Yeah. No, as far as those devices, Chunky, I have what I have right now is one of those e-nails it's the one that goes around the bowl or whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. But it just goes around.
It's an e-nail, yeah.
Yeah, so it just goes around the nail, and it's the same size bong that I use already. And I tried to see if that would make a difference, and it's still too much, because I'm used to my little bong, and that's really on a daily. That's what I do, unless like tonight I'm smoking some of Gigi's communion, because I don't want to be super blasted. It's more of a daytime weed, she told me. So I'm smoking some of that, but it's real talkative if you can't tell.
I haven't opened mine yet, so I should try it.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. That Grape Stomper OG and Grape Stomper OG, Romulan. What's the other one? Oh, the Durban Poison. Smells really Durban, but it doesn't smoke like Durban. I don't know if it smokes more like the Romulan, in my opinion, because I've got a regular Romulan here, and it's awesome, man. He's got a hell of a thing with that cut.
Yep. Do you have some salty pickles going already?
Yeah, I've got two downstairs. That's what I was talking about, that 3x4. I've got that, and then the heart-shaped lunchbox and the Lover's Moon that I'm running with L and the 33333 grow along, or it's not grow along, it's grow off, because it's for North Atlantic Seed and Dirty Bird. But I got the salty pickles in there. I think I'm one of the ones that started first.
Yeah, I had mentioned it to Peasy, and I'm not sure if it was a show or in the Discord, but I've got mine ready to go. I just haven't popped them yet.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Was you able to get them discounted on North Atlantic?
I don't remember where I got them. I'm kind of a genetics whore. I have so many genetics, and I collect them, and I have so many places I go. So I mean, it could have been North Atlantic. It could have been it might have been right from the Romulan. No, it would have been from the Romulan site. I think it was actually Silver Star. It was Silver Star Seed Bank where I got them. I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's another one of the banks that he works with too. Yeah, he's got a whole list of them on his site. If anybody's wondering, if you go on there, they're all listed. Make sure you guys are going to reputable banks, man. Don't get old seeds. Don't get old stock.
Yeah.
And when people ask me what I recommend for seeds, I recommend anybody you can talk to.
Yeah.
You can talk to Jeremy from Three's Genetics. You can talk to, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, from Romulan. Yeah. People.
Jake from Romulan. Yeah. Chad Westport. Yeah. You can talk to.
Chad, you can always talk to.
Brandon
Mr. Toad from Boneyard. There's a lot of really great breeders out there where I can actually go to the breeder and say, hey, what nutrients does this like or not like, or
Right.
if I do this, am I going to regret it type thing. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. I actually have a couple other questions for you.
Uh-huh.
Now I don't have them right in front of me. The easiest one. What got you growing? What inspired you to start up that tent?
Well, so when I again with the Rainbow Room, allegedly, a few years prior, Ohio had actually legalized for medical, and I signed up for that immediately. I've got degenerative disc disease in my neck. I forget the vertebrae, but I'm in pain a lot of the time. But I try not to let it ruin my life, so I'm not on that here tonight. So I signed up for medical, and in doing that, my buddy, the guy that we were talking about, whose house that I have the Rainbow Room at, allegedly. Me and him both were going back and forth to dispensaries, man, and it was like 1 week you'd get a really nice half for like 125, and it was like, that's not bad, except if you try to get a quarter of that when you're broke, Ohio goes by the 10th. And since they go by the 10th, a quarter isn't a quarter. So you had the best deal overall is almost always to buy a half. So you get screwed every time. And then if you try to go cheaper and say, like we have a Sunnyside here, and I'm not knocking Sunnyside, but what I've experienced buying their brand at the $70 half, it's usually popcorn, and it's not that good.
Oh, really? We don't. Yeah. We don't have them out here. I'm not familiar, but I guess that's how they save money, though. A lot of those places, because out here we have just. We have dispensaries now, but where you get the value weed is everyone will go to the reservations because they sell it a lot cheaper.
Right.
But it has that same. It's popcorn or Larfy a lot of the times.
Right. Well, that's where I was going to go to next. Then you go down, you say, okay, well, they got this deal this week and they're $50, right? And you're just like, oh, it's grind. What the hell's grind? And they don't give you any information. And then you go in and their grind is literally grind. It's all
like
plant material. It's like all plant material. Like you get pieces of stem, like you're getting pieces of leaf, like big ass leaves, like not little, tiny leaves that would be all trichomed up. Bullshit. So when you smoke it, it's choking you up. Like you start getting a headache. And I paid for this.
Yeah, I know.
And I looked at him and I told him, I was like, dude, we got to do something. And then his wife actually got on one of those bidding sites that we have here in Cincinnati, one of the warehouse bidding sites. And, she got this tent for him just for shits and giggles. And it turned into what it is now. You know what I mean? The Rainbow Room, the tents are gone. We got the whole room over there. It's been a wild ride this past year. You know what I mean? Literally all this has happened this past year. It's been awesome, man. It really has been.
So how long have you been? Were you on Instagram prior to growing?
No, I had an account. I think I had one post, and it was like Happy Thanksgiving. It was the post. It was like the Thanksgiving post, like right before December. You know what I mean? And it was on my main account. And it was just, I wanted to do something. I was bored. You know what I mean? I was just bored because all I was doing was growing weed, all the time. I had lost my job during the pandemic. The company I was working for shut down. They couldn't afford to operate with no employees because everybody had to stay home here in Ohio. Like it was crazy, man.
Yeah.
And I basically took my stimulus, allegedly.
A lot, yeah.
And, and started everything with him, and just kept rolling from there, man. It's been a blast. It's been a blast. I love Thurgood Jenkins, man. He's been a good guy to me this year.
What so I guess I'm going back to when Chonky had already asked, like, is everything you grow all just testers? Is that
no?
Like
everything at the Rainbow Room is When I started over there, it was the Mellow Kitty and Ramen Granite that I'd won from Gigi. That's what started it, and that's how I was able to get in with Jake. He offered everybody in the Mellow Kitty Mafia at that time the capability to be a tester if they wanted to be. And not that we like fully report back to him like a full grade tester, you know what I mean? But he does talk to us, and you know, I'm regularly talking with him and sharing pictures and stuff. But I call us celebrity testers. But here at the house, like everything here is like either I bought or I've won. It's like this run right here is the whatever run. Yeah, the last run was exotic. It was a whole exotic run. It just depends what mood I'm in. This next run, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do here. I know downstairs I'm going to do the Katsu and the new AC Infinity. And there's a couple other things. Star Spangled, Buds, the Elevator Gary I want to run. I mean, but that's
I can't
regular.
wait for Elevator. Yeah, I have some too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I've never heard of the Elevator Gary. What can you tell me more about that one?
Oh, there's a story behind Elevator Gary.
Well, there's a story behind Elevator Gary, but it's across this Star Spangled Buds. He's on IG too. He's in the Mellow Kitty Mafia as well. But it's some seeds that he made, some reg seeds that he made, and gave them out to Gigi to give away to people. And then since, you know, Gigi was so gracious and sent out Christmas gifts, and she sent them out to us. And I don't know what the cross is off the top of my head. If you hang on a second, I can get them.
Yeah, because I could get them, but yeah, if you get them,
I'll go get them.
Okay.
That's a great guest. Hey, if you want us to know something, let me go get them and
I know.
show you.
At least he's not off camera. We still get a beautiful view.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of jealous of those buds right now. What do you have going on now, Alicia? Are you growing anything? Are you popping anything?
I just started my autos. I have AK-47 XL with it's by Divine Seeds, and then I had auto, and I have a Jelly Donuts Humboldt auto. Yeah.
That's it.
I can't see it. Can you read it to us?
Go.
Yeah, it's Granddaddy Purple.
Okay.
Crossed with Bueller F3.
Bueller.
I'm hoping that's fair. Bueller. I don't.
Bueller.
About.
Yeah, I'm hoping too. Yeah, but it's based off of. I am assuming why I did it was off of when Gigi went to Atlanta, but this past summer, I believe.
The guy in the elevator, it was like, "What? You smell that?"
Yeah. She smelled like weed.
Yeah.
But then we made up a name for him. His name, we don't know if his name is really Gary. Like everyone in the chat is like, it's Elevator Gary.
Yeah, I made it up in the chat. Like I did CC's CC 420, the Auto Flower Queen Omega.
Auto Flower Queen, yep.
Yeah, I added an Omega. She was on the last time. She told you guys that I added an Omega to it. It was funny as shit.
She deserves it.
Yeah, she kicks ass with them auto flowers, man. I tried them at the beginning, man. It's one of the first things I did over there because, like everybody, thought they would be easier, and they were the worst for me. Like,
yeah,
I just didn't have good luck with them, and I had good brands. The only thing I had good luck with, which is a no word, really, I guess, is Gas Reaper. I know that he fucked a lot of people over. But I didn't know nothing about it, and I ran his seeds, the Kim Mo and D's Runts, and those are the best autos I've ever run. I got to be honest. And I've run Mephisto, I've run Fast Buds, like I ran what's the one over in Europe? Forget the name of that one. Anyhow, Dutch Passion. I ran those, their autos, like I did Barney's Farm autos. I just didn't have luck with autos.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't getting the results that I get now at all.
I ran a bunch of autos, and I thought I was doing good. And then I got some boneyard autos that ended up being about six-ish feet tall. And some of the colas were literally the size of my forearm.
Yeah.
They were outside in 10-gallon pots.
Oh, yeah, it was outdoors. Yeah. That's why I want to do autos outdoors next, because we always do, or I always have done, just like, that's when we run, because have tons of regular seeds, and I don't want to run regular and pay for all the electricity and everything, so that's why I do it outside. And then that's when I run regulars. Well, I want to do autos.
I was actually able to get 2 auto runs outside last summer. I did a run of some of your white label genetics. I had some White Widow XXL from Royal Queen. I had German Poison, Chocolope, and a bunch of different other just everything you've already heard of that did okay. They may have gotten 2.5, 3 feet, smokable, okay, bud. But then I got another run of autos through Mr. Toad. So always use that bumper crop. Throw some autos in your veg tent.
Yeah.
I know my last, not the run that I'm doing now, but the last run, I put in 2 autos with 4 photos, and I let the autos run until they were finished. And then I flipped the photos over, and then I had the flower from those 2 autos ready to go while I was waiting for those photos to flower out on me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I thought about that, but I also thought about, regardless of when you started them, if they would still perform under a 12-12,
I haven't thought. I've thought about it. I haven't tested it or figured it out or asked anybody.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I can just flip the my photos from veg to flower, even if the autos aren't done yet.
Right.
But I have my tent is filled right now with all testers, so I don't have any autos in there right now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The rainbow room, I've lucked out over there. I haven't actually done any work. I don't do any work over there. The only time it starts here and then goes there. So I'm able to actually be here every moment when I'm starting everything for over there. That's what's great. I've lucked out where I know some people, they have their stuff at another spot and they got to drive there. Like they can't even have it at their house. You know what I mean? So I've actually lucked out and I'm able to be here for every little whatever, from starting to finish to get it over there. And I feel like being able to have that room over there now instead of growing in a tent has just opened up my eyes about getting out of this rental house and getting my own place, and getting like a big ass barn and just putting like a room in that bitch and living in there and growing weed.
Yeah, it would be nice. Especially now you own it.
Right. And I don't have to worry about sharing anymore. And it's not that it's driving back and forth and having these massive electricity bills. Like if I'm going to have a massive electricity bill, I want it to be for something, not just I've got upstairs, downstairs, and then I got to drive, 30 minutes this way, 30 minutes back. It's an hour, the gas, $3 a gallon. It just adds up, man.
Do you do that every day?
Every other.
Every other, yeah.
When I'm in over there. I mean, like right now I've got a break. And that's why it takes me so long to pop. Once I harvest and I let everything dry, I buck everything off into a tote. And then it goes into my, it's basically a dry tent, but I've used it like a humidor. I just try to keep the temperature as cool as I can in here in flower. Right now, it works out best. But I try to keep that tent really cool and just keep the humidifier going and a fan going and just kind of let it cure in them totes. So once that's curing, I got this in here flowering. I'm like, man, I don't know that I want to pop right now. Like, I want a break from over there. And I can take that little bit of break, but then he's asking me what's going in next, So.
Yeah. It's like a factory.
Yeah.
I can't seem to take a break. I want to. Like, I've been growing nonstop for probably the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Like, inside and outside. I'm like, should I take a break? Nah. No, not going to happen.
Yeah,
I think
I
I'm
mean,
taking a
like,
break, and then I look
2020.
at my list and try to figure out how many plants I'm going to put outside. So
Right. Allegedly 2020. So, 5 years, so, and I haven't had a break. Like when he goes out of town, he can't
Yeah.
have anybody house sit. I have to go over and house sit. I have to go over and watch his dogs while he goes out of town.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I can't have somebody over there up in my shit, man.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've got it
I'm
locked up and
lucky enough to
everything.
have somebody to watch my pups and plants.
Right. Right.
Everyone needs a Thurgood Jenkins in their life.
Right.
Who doesn't need a Thurgood?
Oh.
I don't want to know you. No.
So are you a organic grower, a synthetic grower, or a combo, or a neither? How do you grow? What's your medium? What's your nukes?
Oh, my medium. I do Pro Mix right now.
Okay.
When I started out, I was used in the Oceans Forest, and it was way hot, hot, and I was burning shit. And I'm like, man, I got to do something else. And I started mixing cocoa with it. And then I started mixing cocoa with it. It started being a little bit all right. And then I stumbled across it's another one by I think it's Fox Farm. It's a Coco Loco.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it's like
Farm,
it's a mix of everything. So it's got the peat and the cocoa and the perlite. And I'm like, dude, this works perfect. And I don't have to buy cocoa and Ocean Spores separately. It's all in one bag. Well, then, like I think somebody was talking about it the other day. It might have been another show, but not dispensaries. The shops closing up. The hydro shops closing up. Everyone around me had closed up,
really?
and I had nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
And I started looking on Amazon, and even hydro stores in like Michigan. Maybe it would be cheap to be delivered to Ohio. Nope. Like it was costing more for shipping than it was for the damn soil.
Do you guys have like a Country Max or like Central Tractor? Because they'll order soil for you.
Oh
too.
Yeah, we have Tractor Supply, and we have one. That's where I stumbled onto it at. Was it's called Family Farm and Home. I believe is what it's called. It's about a 45-minute drive, but it's worth it because I can go out there and get a bundle Pro Mix for $39.95.
Yeah, yeah.
It's new hydro shop that just opened up. There's a new hydro shop that opened up. They want $79 for a bale. I'm like, there's no way that I'm gonna pay double the price just to get it 45 minutes sooner. I'm not gonna do that.
No, yeah, exactly. Well, thankfully, you have that as an option because then, if you had to have it shipped, the shipping, paying for the shipping is just double with the product you're paying anyways. It's
right, and it's still $89 on Amazon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How many cubic feet is it in one of those bundles of Pro Mix? They're not the standard 1.5 and R2s, are they? They're pretty big, aren't they?
Yeah, it says I think it's 3 cubic foot for the bundle, but when you open it up, it's like 7. Like there's so much,
so compact.
Yeah, because it's so pressed in there, and that's why I like it. It's a bale. The only thing that I try to make sure of is every time I go over there, because it is. It's like a tack and feed store. It's like any other, kind of store like that. They're pretty rough house on stuff. So you just got to pay attention to bags, especially if you order online. They'll try to put it in your cart and wheel it up to you, and you get out to your car and it's got a big ass cut in it. I always worry about gnats and stuff like that getting into it, especially if it's a fresh order.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I have a company in Vermont. It's called Vermont Compost Company, and they have I think is very similar to Build a Soil 3.0. So I use that. It's called Jolly Roger. I use that as my base, and then I use Build a Soil products and some Gaia Green as well. What nutrient line do you use, or do you make your own nutrients?
So at the Rainbow Room right now, I'm finishing up using General Hydroponics, their Flora Nova line. So it's a Synganic. So there's a little bit of both in that. There is some of the Cool Bloom powder that I use and flour. I use for 1 week on and off every other watering. That's the only one that's not in the the Flora Nova line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Stash Blend. Shout out to the boys.
Yeah.
100%. I love that Stash Blend because I needed silica. I was doing silica and I was doing shit. I'm high as fuck. Anyhow, I was getting some other nutrients and the silica all separate. And I was running out of silica and, watching the show, watching Pigeons and them, I was like, man, I'm going to try some of that Stash Blend. And I got it for the silica. And, man, the plants just loved it at the Rainbow Room. I got a small bag. And I was like, you know what? I'm bringing that home, too. So I brought it to Black Ass Farms. I got a big-ass bag for $4.20. Yeah, Stash Blend for the win. And
yeah, that too. I was reading Justin.
Yeah. And that Stash Blend kicks ass, man. But here at the Rainbow Room, it's the General Hydroponics. Here at Black Ass Farms, I use Athena. Again, getting on Instagram, and one of those things popped up from Athena. You sign up and you get a free order of Athena, the blended line. And I had the whole run, like everything from beginning to end for that. The big gallon jugs, like it wasn't the little starter bottles, like the 32-ounce bottles. It was the 1 gallon jugs.
Oh, and, yeah.
It was like 400 pounds.
My God.
Yeah. And I reached out to my buddy. I said, hey, get online real quick and sign up for this. And then he wound up getting a set too. So we had some backup for the Rainbow Room once I finished the General Hydroponics. So I lucked out again,
Mm-hmm.
Thurgood Jenkins.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny though.
It reminds me of that. You ever seen that movie with Woody Harrelson where he was the bowler?
Yeah.
And everything he did, like it was bad that was happening to him. I'm like the reverse of that. So Thurgood Jenkins means, winning and shit instead of losing. You have a good day. I'm having a Thurgood Jenkins day.
It is a Thurgood Jenkins day.
I think I might have to start using that. If somebody asks me how my day is going, it's a Thurgood Jenkins day.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, we're up a little bit past the hour already. I think we need to start wrapping up. If I
have one little fun fact to talk about with Thurgood that he gave me permission to.
Oh yeah.
He was a big ICP fan.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And when he got married, he was wearing the ICP makeup.
Yeah.
I saw the picture. It's so cute. It's funny.
Well, and it's like the one you showed, shout out to my brother too, man. And Chunky, you were actually there. I was here that night. Everybody was here that night. When I left the hospital with my brother, when I won the cheesecake with Cortez and you guys, like that was a very, very fucking emotional night. And you guys helped me through that. And I really, really fucking appreciate that. I was just talking to my brother today about that and telling him that I was going to be on the show. And he told me to tell you guys hi and thank you for all the support and prayers from everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I think Cortez is still hanging out with us, so I'm hoping he heard that. Cortez, if you heard that, can you just throw up a thumbs up or something? If not, I'm gonna make sure and get that message over to him.
But, when saying that, with my brother, he was there in that photo with me that you saw, Alicia, leaned up against the cop car.
Yeah, against the car.
Yeah, we were both painted up. He was painted up like Twisted, and I was painted up like Violent J from ICP. And it was funny as shit because we called it a Juggalo Hawaiian wedding. And I had a Hawaiian floral shirt on. My wife-to-be was wearing a sarong. And we had gotten in Hawaii 3 weeks prior. We had spent in Hawaii. It was 3 months prior. We spent 3 weeks in Hawaii, in Maui.
Okay. Yeah.
And we met a Hawaiian singer there named Makapu. We had a blast. But back to the courthouse when we got married, the judge actually said, is there any clowns that are going to jump out and throw water balloons at me? Like, it was funny as shit, man.
That's funny. Yeah, that was I don't know. It was a fun fact to learn. I was like, like I used to learn them too as a kid.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun fact that you're down with ICP yourself, Alicia.
Yeah.
I
thought it
would
was
have
too. I thought it was too. Like I was like 20 years old when I found out about them. And when I did, I had learned the whole album and hadn't even heard a song yet because I couldn't find them where I was. And then I finally got my hands on one, and man, it was over from there. Their stories are crazy, man. And I was a big horror movie fan growing up, so it kind of fit in with their crazy ass stories. So
yeah. They have a way of like with their songs. It was just fun and it was funny because they're being funny.
Exactly. I mean, I got the tattoos and everything, but
I'm hoping you've seen them live then, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't been to the Gathering or anything, the Gathering of the Juggalos, but when they would come here to Cincinnati to Bogarts, I would go down there and see them every time. Them, the Cottonmouth Kings, Twisted, Tech Nine. Anytime any of those guys came to town, I was down there. Can't do that shit no more, man. I'm 50 years old. Them crowds get rough.
Yeah, well, yeah. But be nice if it was like you could just stay in the back.
Right.
Show your support.
Nope. I was always down at the barricade, man.
Yeah, I thought. That was fun. A fun fact. I'm glad you shared with me. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, to be honest, at the time, my wife, she was a trooper for going through it. She didn't paint her face or anything, but, allowing me to do that and on her wedding day, dude, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Oh, that's what love does to you.
Right.
Young love, at least.
Yeah. Makes you do stupid things.
Sure do. Well, yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so happy it still worked out with Cortez not feeling very well, and I was hoping he wouldn't have to cancel. I'm so glad Chunky stepped in. He's producing and hosting, so he's doing double and paying attention to the chat.
Yeah, I've definitely been stoked.
Try. Hey, you rocked it out being the lead host today, though, Alicia.
Yeah. We all work our parts.
Like I said, it's been a roller coaster, man. Like just coming on here and being able to chat up with you guys and show my garden again. You guys see it a lot, in other shows, but just to be able to sit back and talk too, it's been nice. Everybody gets to learn a little bit more about me and what I do too. So what got me here.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. And I'm sure, like, when you continue, we'll have another episode to do where you could sit with Cortez as well, but then catch up on all the stuff you've been doing, new stuff since.
Right, exactly. That would be awesome.
Yeah, because we're watching, but it's nice to have, like, the one-on-one talk to you about it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys having me on 100%. Like, when I go on these other shows, you get like 15, 20 minutes and shit. So, come on and be able to just sit and talk for an hour or plus. Sorry for talking so damn much, but it's definitely been fun, man. I definitely appreciate this community. I know there is some bad seeds out there, but
anywhere you go,
I just try to push them aside, man. Just try to keep moving forward and just try to be friendly with everybody, man, because we're all we got. I think that's Dabs is saying, Despicable Dabs, and we're all we got. We're all we need. If we all just get along, I think we can push through this shit of Instagram's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm hoping to.
Speaking of Instagram, is there? I have your Instagram up on the screen, and people can click it through the chat. Is there any place else that we can find you, or any shout outs that you want to give out to anybody?
No, I mean, I do have a backup account on IG, but I don't really use it. I only created it because they shut me down once now. Which I kind of feel like royalty. Too. I kind of feel like royalty, like everybody else has got shut down. Now, why not? Now I'm part of the crowd. But no, I have a YouTube, but I don't do anything on there. It's really just my stuff. But shout out to Romulan Genetics. If you haven't tried it, go try it. If you have tried it, go try it again, man. He's got a bunch of new stuff that's coming out, bunch of stuff that's dropping, bunch of stuff I'm testing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can't wait for that salty pickle. It looks amazing. What I'm gonna do with it is I'm going to grow along on the indoor, and then once I find a nice cut of it, I'm putting a bunch outdoors as well.
Oh, nice.
That'll be awesome. So you're gonna take a cut and run it out, or are you gonna just pop it from seed?
I just started my journey on cloning. I'm actually going down after the show. And you guys will actually get to see it. I have Westport grape juice crossed with blue cheese testing. They were supposed to be super secret. But Chad has 6 testers, and some of the other testers weren't so super secretive. So he gave me permission to show them. So
nice.
I'm going to be going down after the show. I need to do a lot of defoliating and pruning, and I'm going to try cloning for my first time. So, so I've got a mother room now. I've been blessed with a JR cut of Cherry Paloma and I'm going to call it the mailman cut of the Parfait. So I'm going to try to get some clones and then get a mother room going. So hopefully part of that mom room will be a nice cut of the salty pickle that I'll put outside.
Yeah,
that'd be fucking awesome, brother.
Yeah,
sounds like you got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, I can't. I have ADD and I get addicted to things.
Right.
This growing has been the only thing I have said. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go do something else. I've stuck with this for years, and I can focus on it, and it's good for the mind, it's good for the soul, and there's so many facets of it that you can really run down rabbit holes. Like I can't remember who I was talking to last week, and they're like, collecting genetics is a whole little subset of cannabis, and collecting moms and making mom rooms. Like there's always all these little subsets. And Emily, I think Emily was in here earlier.
Emily.
So she was helping me with some edibles and my maple syrup. I don't know. I'll have to get you some maple syrup. It's Thurgood. My maple syrup has been a big hit for everybody. So
yummy.
Yeah. You float.
Love maple syrup.
Yeah, be careful with that. All I did was just dip. I had like mini waffles. I'm so glad I didn't pour it on there, because I would have been out. Wow, my whole body just relaxed. I was just floating. It was very nice.
I've heard that it could make people late for their obligations as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was late last week, but at least I didn't have to be on live being late. I wouldn't have done it if I was live. I would not have tried it at all, because I know I am with edibles too, and I'm not gonna do that.
Edibles are a big thing for me. Edibles, I'm heavy set, and I don't know. I feel like that higher fat content of this body just does not allow me to process them properly. So I really don't feel that much off of them. Mostly, I just go to sleep. Yeah.
You gotta send you some Cortez juice, and
I would say
you'll believe in edibles then.
I haven't tried any of the drinks. There was some up at the Cannabis Cup up there in Detroit. I tried some of the Dippin' Dots style edibles. Those were interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what Dippin' Dots are, like little frozen ice cream balls.
Yeah, they'd have at amusement parks.
Yeah, but I've not done any of the drinks or anything.
I will say, if you do get your hands on Cortez juice, drink a quarter of the bottle, and do not dab in between each of the quarter bottles that you drink.
Oh yeah.
Or do anything like that, and just remember that your body's going to be jello for the rest of the night.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anything like that, I go in light anyhow. Because, like I said, especially if you don't know, if you've never done it before,
Yeah.
Because I had that bad experience with dabs that
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. You don't want to be back in that position, because edibles will hang on too. Like, I made that cookie dough. And then it was the week before last weekend. And then I had it right after the show. I went over and did a couple scoops of it. And I didn't even feel it that much. But when I woke up, I was like, they hang on. They still hang on. That's the thing with edibles.
Yeah, with my foot. That's why I like edibles with my foot, because it will last all night.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll eat an edible about 7 o'clock, but then I take a dab or two to get that immediate pain relief, or use the dry vape through a bong. So
right on.
Yeah, consumption equals function. So that when that THC turns into delta or 11 hydroxy THC, it really takes you for a little bit of a ride.
Yeah.
I just got to find the right amount and find something that I can feel something with, I guess.
All right. Well, is there anything coming up for you at all? Do you have like anything?
No, really, just the next round of Romulan. I'm getting ready to pop. He just, like I said, he dropped a bunch of testers on us. We have a list of them.
Yeah, and pretty much attend any Show Your Grow live, and you will get to see like little updates, pretty much.
Yeah,
and then come back here when we get him back on and get another update later.
Absolutely.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on. Probably shut her down.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm sorry that Mr. and Mrs. Cortez are sick and he couldn't make it on tonight, but I'll definitely come back anytime. You guys reach out. This was fun. I appreciate you guys even having me on, man. I feel privileged.
Oh, well, you did this to yourself, so I wouldn't have known you if it weren't for you. So you're welcome.
Thanks, Thurgood. I'm sure I'll see you really soon in somebody's chat coming up quick.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, I know.
That was my first time interviewing anybody or hosting a show. My only other time this much time FaceTime on YouTube was when I was on Chad's show. So thank you so much for being an awesome host and letting me tag along.
Yeah, well, thank you for. You're welcome. But thank you everybody for coming and watching and hanging out, keeping the chat going. We will see you next week.
All right. Do we know who's next week? I don't actually know who's next week.
I don't recall at the moment either. But no, I don't remember. I'm not gonna say somebody that it's not, just in case I'm not remembering correctly. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We know who it is, just not off the top of our heads.
Yeah, exactly. I think I do, but I don't want to say it and say the wrong person.
All right. Cheers, all. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you next week. And Mr. and Mrs. Cortez, I hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah, I hope you guys feel better. Thank you, Cortez. Yeah, Moondog is up next week. Thank you.
Let me this bitch or thought it.